Oh, to be a Magpie right now, Newcastle took a 1-0 lead into their second leg Carabao Cup semi-final encounter against Southampton at St. James's Park. The match was carried live on SportsMax 2, and we do have highlights.
And the atmosphere is crackling. So Linton, good feet from Guimaraes. Trippier. Inside for Longstaff!
Seemed to where he looks so dangerous, but have a look at this. Guimaraes doing brilliant, great feet, and then just a little pass along the box. And just the bits of movement that we've seen. It's super. Trippier, he obviously ends up with the assist, just playing that ball inside to Longstaff. He doesn't just stand and admire that pass out wide to Kieran Trippier. Goes again inside where he exposes the space, and then it's all about the strike.
Willock has Southampton on the retreat. Lovely reverse ball for Almiron, tucked back inside, and he does have another one. Sean Longstaff again.
And that man Longstaff arriving on the scene. Look at the 1-2, the exquisite little passing, and then Willock driving in. It's excellent it is. Little reverse pass, Almiron, little cut back, and there he is. That's what I talk about, how important midfielders arriving in the box. Have a look at this sequence of passes down the left-hand side, the movement from Almiron, the reverse pass from Willock. I'll tell you what, it's absolutely brilliant. You're thinking the extent of some of these fees that are floating around.
All given away. Here's Adams, takes a pot shot. Oh, what a shot! Shea Adams.
Well, this is best out of the three, isn't it? And it is a ball that's given away quite cheaply, but have a look at this for a finish from Shea Adams. It is fantastic, it really is. Look at the distance. He's out from the box, he's at a real acute angle. Touched about Pope having that many clean sheets.
We had one of the, still do actually, as we break off. Armstrong's in. Nick Pope to the rescue.
Has to be something special.
Dozy. Oh, goes to ground. It's a yellow card for Guimaraes, but this puts Southampton in a great position, and this is James Ward-Prowse territory.
And I think he will get a red card. I think the more it's slowed down, the ball away, it's a nasty one. It really is, and I hope Dozy gets up, because that...
Here it comes. He's going to swap the yellow for a red here for Bruno Guimaraes. And there it is. Teasing ball in. Javier strike. And it is there in black and white. Newcastle are going to Wembley.
Yeah, so Newcastle, the last time they were in a final was 1999. I remember that FA Cup final like it was yesterday. Paul Scholes among the scores for Manchester United, who beat Alan Shearer and his men in that final. They were in a final of the League Cup the last time in 1976, where they lost to Manchester City. So it's been a very long time between drinks for the boys from the north of England. We're joined by Barbados International and SportsMax analyst Nick Blackman to review today's encounter. How are you doing, Nick? Good to see you.
I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
Doing well on this side, my friend. All right, so the Magpies have pitched up a nest at Wembley for a final against either Manchester United or Nottingham Forest. How do you assess how they went about their work today?
Yeah, Newcastle started off absolutely fantastically this evening. They started off like a house on fire with Longstaff getting 2 goals. Could have actually had a hat-trick. Sloppy mistake from Newcastle when they seem to be absolutely cruising. Let Southampton back in through a fantastic strike from Shea Adams. And then Southampton have come out in the second half, all guns blazing, but Newcastle put on a very professional job. Unfortunately, they've lost one of their main players in Bruno Guimaraes for the final, so it's going to be a very interesting tie for them.
Have you ever played at St. James's Park in your time in England, Nick?
Played? No, I didn't actually get off the bench that day.
But you were there for a game?
Yes, I've been there, yeah.
And the reason I ask you that, my friend, is I want you to talk to us about atmosphere, because one of the things I've always been told growing up or seen is the atmosphere at St. James's Park and how passionate the Geordies are. That's what you call Newcastle fans. How passionate they are, and how St. James's Park is always so intimidating for rival teams, especially the big teams. Did you ever feel that way sitting on the bench, feel the Geordie passion, and feel perhaps a little bit cold as you represented your team?
Yeah, most definitely. You could see that once the Newcastle players then were performing, the fans were right behind them, and it turned into a real fortress. You know, there's 60,000+ people there, and they're, if not the most passionate fans in the league. So, yeah, they're desperate for success, and it looks like Eddie Howe's building a team for that.
Right, and speaking about that, Newcastle recorded their 15th win of the season. Do you get the sense that this club is on an upward trajectory?
Yeah, I think they're definitely on an upwards trajectory. The 15th win of the season, I think they were on hand. The keepers had a fantastic season, keeping, I think, 16 clean sheets this season already. So that's a massive congratulations to him and a testament to him and the defence. But yeah, Eddie Howe's been back there. They've got fantastic owners that have just come in. They look like they've got a lot of money to spend, and it's very exciting times there.
Yeah, talk to me a little bit more about Eddie Howe and the job he's done to get Newcastle here so quickly, Nick, perhaps ahead of schedule to reach a cup final based on the plan that the owners would have set out, because they have loads of money, we all know this, but they've not gone crazy in the transfer market. They didn't go crazy in the summer. They've been very quiet in this January. It's almost, Newcastle are almost like a sober man with his wallet, while some other clubs, who I won't mention, are like drunk people with a lot of cash. Talk about the sobriety in the Newcastle approach to transfers and squad building as exemplified by what Eddie Howe has done.
Yeah, well, from the activity or lack of activity, should we say, that they've gone around and done and been quite smart in their business. Obviously, everybody knows that they've got a big wallet, and they know they've got a lot of money to spend when they feel the time is right to step into the transfer market. But you just have to look at the job that he's done at Bournemouth, and in terms of how he went about them, and he turned them into a championship team, into a top table Premier League team. And I think that wasn't done with massive investments or signing massive superstars. He's come to another level club, obviously, at Newcastle, so they are going to eventually have to sign some superstars if they're going to make the break.
Yeah. What's the difference, though, Nick? Because we've seen several times, especially in England, manager impresses taking charge of small club, gets a promotion to a big club, massive stadium, massive support, flops. Eddie Howe, so far, is trending in the opposite way. Why?
Well, as you've highlighted, a lot of managers struggle is because of the expectation. Now they've gone in without expectation at the smaller, say, clubs, and they kind of overachieve there. But when success is demanded and expected from them, it's very, very difficult to deliver. And he seems to be doing that at the moment. And his team are really, really playing such attacking great football. You know, you've got people like Joe Linton, who wasn't a fan favourite and is now become probably the most important player in midfield for them. So it just goes to show that not only is he results-based, but he's also getting the best out of his individual players. So he's a great man manager. Yeah,
you single Joel Linton out, and that's a good spot, Nick. But hear me now. We've seen Newcastle teams over the years, some brilliant teams. We've seen the Bobby Robson Newcastle. I'm thinking his name was Mighty Mouse, the former England manager who managed the team in that famous meltdown in the title race at Manchester United. We've seen star players. We've seen Alan Shearer, we've seen Faustino Asprilla, we've seen David Ginola, some outstanding individuals at Newcastle, and they haven't quite cut it. This team is much different. There are no star players of the kind that the best clubs in the world will be fighting to sign. Yeah, there are good players there, but no outstanding individual as Newcastle has had in the past, and yet this unified group have taken them to where the star-studded teams, the teams with the big individuals, have never taken them before.
Yeah, like I said earlier, you know, in terms of Eddie Howe teams at Bournemouth, he never relied on one sole player. I think that could be very detrimental to the team system and obviously the team's success. So he seems to be implementing a similar style at Newcastle. He seems to be doing fantastically well. But again, to bridge that gap and to to get into the top four on a consistent basis, to be competing in the Champions League, then ultimately to be winning trophies, I think they are going to have to make the step and sign some big name players. And it will be interesting to see how Eddie Howe deals with that, because it will be the first time in his career that that's happened.
Yeah, top point. The manager was looking for, Nick, was Kevin Keegan. There you go. All right, there you go. Thank you very much, my friend. We'll talk again. All the best to you.
No, thank you very much.
All right, remember SportsMax will have the second semi-final on Wednesday between Nottingham Forest and Manchester United. It's 3-0 to Manchester United from the first leg, but you know, there are no gimmies in football. The game will have to be played, and the winner will meet Newcastle in the final on February 26th at Wembley. Yeah, break time.